Because you can't cry and it can't be a bop. The two things can't be true at once. Howdy, hello, how are you doing? My name is Victoria Shell if you're new here, and if you're not new here, welcome back. I'm really happy to see you. I am an epileptic singer-songwriter and independent music journalist, and today we are going to be reacting to FKA Twigs' new album that just dropped, Caprisongs. If you're new around these parts, basically on this channel I do any content that I want surrounding music. All of the stuff that I can possibly think up in my little brain about music is on this channel. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, like, subscribe, and make sure you turn on post notifications so you don't miss a thing. So a couple of disclaimers going into this video. One, I'm using some natural lighting today, so apologies if the lighting kind of changes. I don't know. I haven't used natural lighting yet on this channel, so here we go. The second disclaimer is the way that I like to do album reactions is I go in blind. So I haven't read, heard, looked up anything about the album. The only thing I know about the album is the post that FKA Twigs put on their Instagram about the album, and I read through that. That's it, which I'll put on the screen here and you can check that out if you want to. I am really excited to listen to it. I just recently, within the last year or so, got into FKA Twigs music, so I'm looking forward to this. The description that they gave on their Instagram was stunning. I already know that the writing is going to be good. And the third disclaimer is that I am a Sagittarius Sun, Aquarius Moon, and a Leo Rising. So do with that information what you will, and let's listen to the fucking album, okay? I also have this really cute Sagittarius mug out of which I'm drinking coffee. So this album has 17 songs and in total is 48 minutes and 10 seconds. And song number 1 is called Ride the Dragon. Let's ride it.
I made you a mixtape. Yes. I'm still that mysterious
I love this.
Really wanna kiss me?
Ooh!
Really wanna kiss me?
Really wanna kiss me, kiss me, kiss me, kiss me. Yes. Wow. Wow.
If you really wanna kiss me,
I love that. That was not the right sound.
ride the dragon.
Ride the dragon. Yes.
I've been waiting for a minute.
This is so fucking satisfying to my ears. I love this. Wow. Okay. So that was song number 1, Ride the Dragon. Initial first impressions of just going into the album. What an incredible opener. It's not a slow open at all. It starts off kind of slow, but it immediately gets into the vibe, which is something I like. It's really hard for me to get into an album at first glance. It really is, because I need something to like really grab me. And this started off already grabbing because of those weird little entrances into the production, like that sound that I fucked up the first time and I still don't know what the fuck that is, but it sounds really cool and I like the way that hit my ear. It feels very divine feminine energy into this production quality, and her voice, it's just beautiful. It's gorgeous. I think that was a great way to kick us off, you know what I'm saying? So now we're going into song number 2, which is called Honda, featuring Pa Salou. I am so sorry if I said that wrong. I'm so sorry. But that's song number 2, Honda.
Looking at myself in the mirror.
Looking at myself in the mirror.
Don't look back, don't look back. Keep driving. You know what I'm saying? Leave the sourness behind you.
True. I love that choir in the background.
Baby, we can roll it.
Oh my gosh.
And we ooh,
Ooh.
and we all over.
That voice is just magical.
You're shining always.
I love the alto harmony.
You look content. You never have to worry 'cause the unday.
Oh my gosh. Their vibes are matching really well. Ooh, I love her voice when she talks on the album. It's so good. Yes. He kind of reminds me of Sean Paul right now. Wow, those go. Okay, wow. I really love the production on both of the initial first 2 songs already. Now, this is what I want when something says featuring literally anybody. This is the type of energy that I want. If you listen to the way that they formatted this feature, the other person, Pa Salou, and I'm so sorry if I'm not saying that right, but them and FKA Twigs, they were literally dancing around each other the entire song. That is the best, most incredible, beautiful way to do a feature, in my opinion. It's just perfect. And their energies matched and the tone of their voices matched each other so well, especially within the mix of the production. And I think the lyrics bounced well off of each other. I just loved every single second of that. I also really, really loved the chords that were used in that song. I liked the juxtaposition of the really angelic choir moments versus the kind of more darker chorded angelic moments of the song. And that really, really distinguished slam of the dissonant piano chord that kept creeping up in there. That was just beautiful. And that's so specific. That, to me, is a signal that an artist is really, really putting in the details, which I like, especially when I'm listening to something for the first time, because the more that pulls my ear into a song, the more I'm going to like it. And keep in mind, all of my opinions on every album reaction I have are my opinions and just my experience. Everyone experiences music differently, which means everyone's going to have different feelings and thoughts and everything on those albums. So I would love to hear your thoughts and your feelings as you're reacting or as you're listening, or just your experience with FKA Twigs in general in the comments if you feel so inclined to do so. But anyway, let's go on to song number 3, which is called Meta Angel.
Caprisongs.
True, please. Wow, I love that. Gosh, their voice is just beautiful. It's angelic, meta angel, you could say. Wow. Wow. Fuck, I love that. Oh, wait, this is gonna... I think this one might make me cry a little bit. I love the piano. Yeah. I'm obsessed with this. Holy shit. Oh my gosh. I love that. Fuck. Okay, that song literally hit me in the chest and in my emotions, okay? First of all, the starting with the chat with their friends. Obviously, this album is very personal. You heard them at the beginning talking with their friends and saying, this year is going to be the best year yet, and all these things, it's the year of this, that, and the other, and you have so many expectations. But then when you get into the song, it starts to talk about how they can only go so much further, and when they're winning and they're doing all these things, they're super high, and it's to me, that just makes sense because I'm a very similar type of person. And to hear someone put that in such a beautiful way, it's my favorite thing about music, is to take pain, experience, good, bad, ugly, whatever it may be, and to put it in a beautiful song in one way or another. And not only is this a beautiful song, it's a very dynamic song. And so far, a very dynamic album. And I love the talk about her star, sun, and moon signs. I think that is so much fun. And that's literally, I'm an astrology bitch. Look at my earrings right now. Like, don't even tell me you don't know that. And I said it at the beginning, like, we know. I love the album cover. I think that this song really represents kind of the album cover vibe. I enjoy it so much. I just am really, really, really enjoying this album so far. So let's see if Tears in the Club, song number 4 with The Weeknd, will make me cry, or if it's going to be a bop, or if it's going to be both, because you can cry and it can be a bop. The two things can be true at once. Just reacted to The Weeknd's album like a couple days ago, so nice. We'd love to see it. They sound great together. This is great. This is a match made in heaven. Wow, 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 wow. I'm obsessed with this. This makes me want to cry, not because it's sad, because it's literally just so good. Gosh. I love that. Oh my God, do you hear those little... That's so good. Okay, so first of all, production quality on this album is out of bounds. It is out of bounds. The Weeknd and FKA Twigs are literally my dream combination, and I never knew that I needed to hear this song until I just heard it just now in this exact moment, and now I never want to hear anyone else sing together ever again, because I feel like they genuinely mesh so well together. Not only their voices sound beautiful together, but I feel like FKA Twigs and The Weeknd are two sides of the same toxic healthy coin. And if you watch my Weeknd reaction video, I feel kind of like FKA Twigs balances that same tightrope of toxicity and healthy in relationship, love, sex, all of those life things, especially in the context of music. And I think that they both play around with what they can do and what boundaries they can push. And for them to do this collab together is fantastic. I'm obsessed with that. I am obsessed with that. Okay, so now we're going to go on to song number 5, which is called Oh My Love.
Family went to some like family barbecue.
I love British accents.
You know, we're just like hanging out, aren't we?
Hate that.
Oh, my love.
Ooh.
You never said if you let me go.
Wow, yeah. That's a fucking great way to phrase that. I love that! Oh my gosh. Ooh, oh my gosh, I love this. Okay, shout out to fucking Lauryn Hill. We love to see that. Fuck. Oh gosh, that is so good. I love that.
You're beautiful.
Thank you.
Love yourself. Know your
I love
worth,
this.
and fuck crying over these stupid boys that
I love this. I love this. I love this. Wow. Okay. Holy shit. I have so much that I want to say, and I just I don't even know how to phrase it all, because I just really, something about this album is really just like directly aiming at me. It is just hitting the way that I want it to hit. It's perfect for me. I don't know. It's like, I just really am vibing with this on a different level. The phrasing of her lines is fucking immaculate. It is immaculate. Immaculate. And the way that the phrasing changes from verse to chorus to bridge to those little in-between moments that don't necessarily have a place in the structure of the song, which means nothing, because what the song structure is whatever the song is. But the way that they do it is so unique, and it's so fucking good. It is so good. And the other side of phrasing is in the actual way that she's using her voice. So that that hitting with the beat and it pulls. It's creating tension, not just through the production, but through her literal voice. And that is really, really cool. I love to see singers utilizing their voice as their own effect in their music. And they do that so fucking well. They set a standard for doing that, especially in this album already. I genuinely think that this album is going to be one of my top albums of the year. And I think I'm literally going to play it all the time. I love this album. I love this album. I love this album. And I'm only 6 songs in, and there's 17 songs, which makes me more freaking excited. I love when you can tell that an artist made their music for themselves, but they made it with the intention to share with other people and to give a shared experience to the people that they know are going to be listening to their music. That's a really, really beautiful way to be an artist, in my opinion. And there's not a lot of artists I find that do that authentically, and to me, this feels very, very authentic. Let's go to song number 6, Pamplemousse. What? Pamplemousse? Pamplemousse. 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 I guess we'll find out if she says it in the song, but I would like to say that's really, really fun to say. Pamplemousse. 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 Okay. Shut the fuck up, Tori. Let's go. Okay, shit. I love that. And that song definitely wasn't my favorite. I did like it. It was really interesting sonically. Sometimes I'm not gonna lie, I have a little bit of a hard time understanding some of the words that are coming out of their mouth. But I can't really say much about that because there's a lot of people who say that shit about me because of my Southern accent. And they're like, what are you saying? And I'm like, you know what? That's okay. It's all right. I don't need to know precisely what they're saying in this exact moment to be able to enjoy the song, because the more I listen to it, the more comfortable I'll get with the lyrics, and my ears will kind of tune up to the language differences, which is just accent differences, obviously. It's really, really cool. I like that. I really love the production on this album. I still don't know what pamplemousse means. What the fuck is a pamplemousse? What does that? Let's look it up. Pamplemousse. It's a grapefruit. It's a grapefruit. Or a pomelo, which is a grapefruit. Is a pomelo and a grapefruit and a pamplemousse the same thing? A grapefruit, a pomelo, and a pamplemousse walk into a bar. I still am not understanding that. I'll probably have to listen to that 100 times before I'm like, oh, pamplemousse. But for now, let's go on to song number 7, Caprisongs Interlude featuring Solo. So the mixtape thing, yeah. Love that. That was a nice little interlude. I like that. It's really short. It was cute. I really enjoyed it. Now we're going to go on to song number 8, Light Beamers. I love that. I like how the transitions are within the song. So it kind of categorizes each song individually. Ooh.
Don't do it again.
Yes. Yes! Gosh, the words are so specific. Yes. Woo! Wow. Gosh, the fucking production is insane. I love that line. That's so, oh my gosh. Holy shit. I am obsessed with that. That also played so much on the dynamics of her voice and what she can do with it. And when I listen to FKA Twigs, I'm always expecting something, but I never know what the something is going to be. They throw in shit into the production anytime they want to, without any basis or without any structure at all, and it fits perfectly because they create their own song structures. They don't base it off of a lot of things. It just feels like it's all a very natural progression of creating a song, and whatever they feel is necessary to put in to curate the vibe that they're going for, they put it in, and they know exactly where it's supposed to go. And that, to me, lends to gaining an understanding of them as a musician through listening to the music. I can feel the energy that they put into it. It's really, really fucking incredible to have such a consistent album. This album is song after song unique to me and unique to FKA Twigs and her discography. It's amazing. I'm really, really vibing with this. So now we're going on to song number 9, which is called Poppy Bones featuring Shy Girl. I like this. Yes. This reminds me of early Rihanna. Yes! Love that. This is so well put together. And it's so steady. I really like that. They sound great. They sound great together. This is a bop. I will say that song didn't hit as hard for me as some of the other songs did, although I still like it a lot and I think it's a bop. I love how steady it is. It's a very good song to dance and move your ass to, which is fantastic. I love the feature on that song from Shy Girl. I genuinely think that FKA Twigs knows exactly how to balance contrast and chemistry, not only by herself as an individual artist in the production and her own vocals, but also with the features she chooses on the songs and how they mesh together within the production and with her own vocals. So all together, there's like the trifecta of music production for FKA Twigs, which is her voice, the unique application of what she throws in there, and the feature she chooses, whether it be voice effects, actual additions to the track, or actual people being featured. They know exactly how to balance those in such a unique way. It's magical. It's lovely, and in such a personal way, which is just beautiful to listen to. It's great. Now we're going to go on to song number 10 called Which Way featuring Dystopia.
This is like the perfect music to think.
I love these little snippets of them. That's fantastic. I love that.
1, 2,
had a good job and I laughed.
I love that. That's sick.
I laughed, right, left, right.
That's really cool. The way they play on lyrics is so good. Okay, I'm pausing it. I know that's a transition, but I'm pausing it so I can give you my thoughts. Okay, so a theme that I'm noticing is that FKA Twigs is using a lot of late 90s, early 2000s music influence, pop music influence, and R&B music influence, while also employing them with 2021 or 2022 technologies, which lends to a unique sound. It is clear as fuck. It is just so crispy. It's reminding me of that era, but recategorized in a 2022 energy, if that makes sense. If every single pop album from the late 90s and early 2000s was remastered and redone to be a magical masterpiece, it would be this album. Maybe that's just me. So let's go on to number 11, which is Jealousy featuring Rima. Yeah. I love a syncopated beat like that. This is the only one I'm not as sure about. This is nice. I really like the end a lot. I love this part. Okay, so that one was a little bit of a hit or miss for me. I definitely like the song. However, I don't like the feature as much as I like the other features. They still blended really well together. That repetitive riff that Rima was doing kind of got a little too repetitive for me, which is my opinion. I still really like the song. It's just in comparison to the other songs, this one probably isn't going to be in my rotation as much, but I did like the beat as well. The syncopated beats, I think that's what they're called, music degree out the window, but those types of beats of bah, 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 those keep a driving force, okay? So that kind of drives the song forward. If there was a different beat structure in that song, I don't think I would have liked it as much, but there wasn't, so I did like it. Okay, so now we are going into the last 6 songs, starting with number 12, Careless featuring Daniel Caesar, who I am a fan of, so excited to hear this. Yep. Love that. That's so soft, but it still hits your ear hard, you know? Love this. I love this. Ooh, I love that. Wow. That is so good. Wow. Woo, I love that. That theme is so good. That's a characterization of the song. I love that. Yes. Ooh. Woo. Yes, Daniel Caesar. Yeah. Woo! I really love that. Again, with this feature, their voices just blend beautifully. In the same way that FKA Twigs uses her different registers in her voice to characterize the different parts of the song. Like they went up into the really high, super head voice, very soft, but still striking. It's like, what's the word? It's like a singeing softness, if that makes sense. FKA Twigs falsetto is. Daniel Caesar, in a similar way, plays around with his vocal range. And as someone with a deeper voice, even when he's in his higher range, it's still very soft, and it's not like super crazy soprano. It's not categorized as the same high, to me at least, in my ear, as like The Weeknd's higher falsettos are. And when he belts, when that belt came in at the end, that is still soft. It's a soft belt because it's easy. It's not like a yelling, it's not like a Whitney Houston belt or a Demi Lovato belt. It's a Daniel Caesar belt. And that matches so well against FKA Twigs' falsetto, striking, singeing voice. And on top of that, the balance in that song of harsh and soft was just so well curated. I thought that was very well balanced. And it all kept moving along, which is really hard to do. Like, it's really difficult to have all those things. And also knowing that it's so personal to her as an artist, that's sick. I just really love this. And the concept is you can be careless. Like, that is a really, really challenging thought process to go through when you are attracted to somebody or with somebody or in any type of relationship, where at that point you're just like, just do what you want to do. That's like a crossroads type of vibe. And I think that was characterized in the production as well, especially with the addition of the Daniel Caesar feature. I thought that was beautiful. So let's go on to number 13, which is called Minds of Men. Very, very curious about this. Piano is gorgeous throughout the entire album, and it's a common theme in a lot of the songs. Wow, what a change of vibe. I love that. Continue the theme, but add a little more energy. Yup. Yup. My divine feminine energy is tingling. They are an actual musical angel. Oh my gosh. I love the production so much. That's great. I really, really love that song. I love the production. I love the message that she's categorizing through her lyrics. I just have never listened to an album with this type of production quality. I really haven't. And do with that information what you will, but it's just something is very, very unique about this. And I am so excited that this is like my first release that I've experienced with FKA Twigs. And I'm just so happy about that. It's so personal. I love the full theme of astrology and femininity and the woman's world and the minds of men. Those concepts are talked about so fucking often. They're like literally so often that it is really difficult to talk about them in music without being annoying on the subject. Not FKA Twigs. Annoying where? Nowhere, not in sight. The way they write music is just so specific to them. And for them to be able to share that in the way that they share that is incredible. It just is. It's just incredible. She's a literal musical angel. She sounds like it. She shows it. She expresses it. She is the moment. So now we are going on to song number 14, which is called Track Girl Interlude. These interludes are like meditation.
Like we usually sell drugs.
They're like montages of her life. I'm really loving the interludes. They're not too much. They're not too little. They're just the right introductions to the next section of the album. And on top of that, they're so well put together. It literally feels like you're listening to a montage of the different moments of her life that categorize the different sections of the album. And I'm a very visual person. Like when I read a book, I can see the images in my head. I hear the narrator in my head. I'm visually inclined to make up stuff in my head about what things are. Although I haven't seen pictures or images of all these different sections of her life, I'm putting aesthetics to it in my head. And it's like a movie montage with retro video camera, like camcorder vibes of these different moments of her life through music that are then pulling you and driving you in very, very gently into the next section of the album, which I think is a beautiful way to create an album because you're making it a listening experience. It's not just listening to music or listening to a single. When you put the work and the time to really step by step, song by song, curate an energy, that categorizes an album in a different place. And that's what I mean by like those interludes are like meditation moments, because it gives you a second to not only digest what you've heard up to that point, but to prepare yourself for the next section and get a little insight into what the vibe is, what the context is, how this particular artist likes to express their musicality. And I really, really love that. I love the way that FKA Twigs expresses her musicality. I think it's beautiful. So now we're going into the last 3 songs of the album. Number 15 is called Darjeeling, featuring Georgia Smith, which I am fucking pumped about. I love Georgia Smith, and Unknown T, who I'm not familiar with. So let's listen to it.
Surely it's plain to see. AOT attracts superstar, crystal palace, blah blah blah. Body hot like
oh fuck yeah.
We like to make love that was.
That harp in the background is gorgeous. Wow! I love Georgia Smith! Oh yeah, I love this. This is great. Wow. The beat is so fucking interesting. Like the structure of the beat. That's cool as fuck. What a beautiful way to bring that in and take that out. Gosh, those transitions are so beautiful. I absolutely loved that song with the double feature, okay? Double feature picture show is what that was. The transitions between not only the different beats on the different sections of the song, which is fucking sick in itself. I love that. I also love Georgia Smith's feature. She's fantastic. Their voices mesh so well together, and the way that FKA Twigs is like on the beat, dun, 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 that in comparison to the Georgia Smith feature. And then when Unknown T comes in, who I'm not familiar with, but I absolutely, now I'm going to go and look up their music because I loved the way that they brought in that feature. The transition was there when they said, listen, I literally turned my head because it took me out of the song. And at first I was like, what the fuck? It wasn't that it was taking me out in a bad way. It was like extracting me from one vibe in the song and placing me delicately but very firmly in the next vibe, and then beautifully transitioning me back into the original vibe of the song, which is really, really cool. And that's so hard to do. That song to me is one of the most beautiful examples of in-song transitions I've ever heard. With the technology that we have available today in music, they're utilizing everything that they can, in my opinion. It sounds so futuristic, but perfectly right for this time. What an era. What an era to be a part of as a listener and as an artist. That's fantastic. Okay, now we're on to the last two songs. The next one, number 16, is called Christie Interlude.
Just taking a look at your chart. And oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And right now, we have the
Claiming
full
this
moon
energy.
today.
That's so cool.
You believe anything can happen. The world is your oyster.
I love that.
Star seeds come through the glass.
Caprisongs.
That was a beautiful interlude. It was also really interesting and unique. It reminds me of the finishing song on The Weeknd's album with Jim Carrey. And it's just interesting, except this is a lot more personal. I feel like it's less scary because that was kind of intentionally a little existential. And this is existential, but in a comforting way. I love astrology. It's something that I'm learning about and trying to get more into. Shit's hard as hell. But it is something that I'm really interested in and that I'm always like open to learning about and listening to. So when it's included in music, it's very fun and it's really interesting and it's super personal because that's a spiritual thing. It's a part of someone's spirituality a lot of the time. It's something that people take really personally. If you go and take the time to learn about it, I'm sure it's something that obviously means a lot to you as a person. It means a lot to me too. Like I heavily identify within my little placements, okay? So I really like the emphasis that the entire album puts onto that, and because it inherently gives a certain level of personal energy to the music, which lends to the audience being able to find their own personal energy in the music. And that's what music is all about, is finding your own personal energy and finding your own experiences and your own attachments that make you want to keep up with an artist or that make you want to enjoy the music, because music is a universal astrological experience at the end of the day. Every single person has an interaction with music in one way or another, whether it's just through feeling the vibration of a beat through a table, hearing it in a movie, hearing it on the radio, whatever it may be. Every living being in one way or another experiences music. Even birds have music, like they literally sing. And when you categorize that in the ideas of astrology and the universe and the stars and the alignment of the stars, I think that that is the perfect combination for a lifelong album, like an album that you will always go back to, because those ideas and those connections and those person-to-person conversations an album like this can lend to, those are solidified in time. And I know this sounds really dramatic, but what else do you expect out of me? I'm 16 songs into the fucking FKA Twigs album, so yeah, I'm going to be a little dramatic. So let's finish off very, very strongly with song number 17, Thank You Song, and then we will gather for our final thoughts.
I wanted to die and just being honest.
Yeah.
Afraid to say it out loud.
Oh. beautiful. It makes me want to cry just because it's so beautiful. That's so good. I love that. It's cool. Those little zips in the back. Wow. I love music literally so much. I wouldn't have this channel if I did not like music so much. And when I hear a song like Thank You Song on this album, which is the last song of the album, it's a reminder for me of what music can do. Because the heavy feelings, the worst, most awful, most difficult feelings to work through that are the result of that are the direct result of the worst, most awful, most difficult things that you have to work through in life, when they're able to be spun into a song and in a production and in a musical way, I don't know. That just is like magic to me. It really is like a magical fucking thing. Because how the fuck does that happen? And I know you can go on and on about structure and chord structure and production this and production that. I don't give a fuck. There is an energy that artists can place into their music. And there are some artists that don't fucking have a clue about energy. And it doesn't mean their music is bad. It means it's not nearly as personal or as impactful as an artist like FKA Twigs is in their music. And that song was just so beautiful. And fuck, times are tough, y'all. We all know times have been fucking tough. Like, shit. I am someone who needs to hear people say some shit like she said in that song sometimes, because I have experienced a lot of that. And I've been through my own shit. And when music is made like this, it reminds me why I love music so much and why I want to do what I do and why I love writing music and why it's such a fucking magical experience. Because how the fuck does shit like this happen? How does it happen? And I have a degree in music and I still don't know how it happens. And I don't think I ever will. And that's what I think is another part of the magic about music, is that it's a never-ending source of wonder and sadness and happiness and all of the emotions and feelings and energies that you could possibly think up or conjure up in your head. You can find them in music, someplace, somewhere, somehow. And I think FKA Twigs is a place in music that everyone should go to at least once. I think that this album is angelic. I think that this album is a astrological sign from the universe within itself. LOL, my camera died, so we're switching to the phone camera. Woo! Okay, but I think that this experience of writing the album was such a divine experience for FKA Twigs that inherently that energy is ingrained into every single song, which then is shared through the energy of the minds, or whatever you want to call it, into the audience's vibe. And as an audience member, I just fucking love this. I absolutely love every single minute. Even the parts that didn't vibe as much with me personally, they add to the greater value of the album as a whole and are integral to the full string of energy from top to bottom that characterizes this album. Outside of any other album I've literally ever listened to. It's magical. It's beautiful. She is one of those artists that makes you think about your place in the time-space continuum. And I, for one, am happy to be here, okay? If you were happy to be here reacting to this album with me, make sure that you leave a comment and let me know, first of all, if you've listened to the album and what you think of the album, what your experience is with FKA Twigs as an artist, like when did you get into it? And in general, just what you think about music right now, or any videos or anything that you want. I love talking to you guys in the comments. Genuinely, on my reaction videos, I get the best, most interesting musical conversations because every single person has a different experience with music. So I'd love to hear what you have to say. If you did like hanging out with me, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so that you don't miss a thing. You can also follow me on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter, and my music blog pages, Y'all Should Listen, where I post snippets, reviews, playlists. All of that will be linked in the description below. And again, thank you so much for watching. I love this channel. I love the little community we're building here. With every new video, I get new people, and it's just so much fun. And I'm just so grateful for the experience and to have an audience that likes to experience music with me. I fucking love this whole thing. Like, I just am having the best time. So thank you for experiencing it with me. Thank you for being here. I hope to see you on the next one, and I appreciate you. I hope you have a wonderful week. Bye.